Yeah.
I am a trend setter. Look, I'm telling you, if you want to know a little bit about me, I'm gonna open up. I like to be the first of a kind.
All right.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't like to be like, wow, that's never happened before, and this guy did it. Now, if someone else does it, that's just, that guy did it first. So, I promise you what I'm about to show you and unveil on your podcast.
I know what it is.
See, Zach follows me a little closer. I promise you it's going to be the first of its kind that you've ever seen. It's a
Welcome to Flavor Balance Heat, the podcast for hot sauce lovers and makers. I'm Spike.
I'm Zach.
And I'm Claire.
And today we're talking to ZACH GOOT from the Texas Hotspot and one of the stars of the Hulu docuseries Superhots. Hey, Zach.
Thanks, guys. Thank you for having me on the show.
Yeah.
So tell us your spicy food history. What got you into eating hot sauce and hot peppers and doing these crazy challenges that you do?
Absolutely, and that's a great question, man. A lot of people would ask a chili head, why do you do what you do? And if you watch the series Superhot, I actually have a quick monologue in there where the great director Brian Scope, he scripted out an entire paragraph for me to. We sat down together with me, him, and Johnny Scoville, and we sat down together and we came up with our own take at the time of what makes a chili head tick and why we do what we do. And it just really simply boils down to the fact because we can. And it just makes us feel alive when we do it. The people that climb Mount Everest or the people that go bungee jumping or the people that go skydiving, they do it for that adrenaline rush and it makes them feel alive. And it's there to do. It's something that us as human beings, we're always constantly wanting to be challenged in some form or another. So that's what happened with me, man. Being laid off in COVID around 2020, everybody got laid off. A lot of chili heads actually who got laid off came onto the scene because of it. So yeah, same thing, man. I got real bored sitting at home all the time. And as a human with human nature, I wanted to challenge myself. So I started off by watching some YouTube videos of like different things you could do around the house to just have fun. And I started getting caught on some spicy content with big names like Roger Tier from the Hot Dang Show, Johnny Scoville from Chase the Heat, Brian Ames, Heat 101, all these really high people I just started divulging into. And then I decided to give it a go myself. Now, you have to understand, as a amateur chili head from 2019, thinking a habanero was going to kill me, jumping right in, man. Head first, ordered a tube of terror from Johnny Scoville, was my first ever challenge. Not knowing what to expect, never had anything quite on that level of hot in my life. So I pushed through that challenge, and if you watch the video, it's one of the first on my YouTubes. You'll see the moment when I'm in my afterburn after I've eaten all those nuts, where I describe the wah, 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 and the endorphin dump, and no one's ever described that to me or that I was going to expect that. So that feeling alone, I'm still chasing to this day, to be honest. It's almost like when you chase that heroin dragon, chase the dragon.
Yep.
And that's exactly why Johnny Scoville has Chase the Heat, because, we chase the heat as chili heads. It's not just the endorphin dump, but it's also just the challenge itself.
Zach, obviously you're into the heat and the intensity of it. Are you ever, do you ever go after hot sauces that aren't as hot, or do you ever go after them for flavor? What do you look for in a hot sauce or in a chili pepper besides just the pure heat?
Yeah, I'm a very big fan of flavor before heat, believe it or not. My palate is pretty educated, actually. A lot of people don't know this about me, but I have a degree in culinary arts.
Yeah, I saw that.
Nice.
When I was doing my research, I saw that you've been to culinary school. Yeah.
Yeah. So I went to culinary school when I got out of the Army. Kind of where my drug addiction started, to be honest with you, was going through culinary school and working all those late nights at some of Dallas's top restaurants until like 2 or 3 in the morning. And you got those people that are like, hey, man, you're struggling to stay awake. Let me help you out with that. So kind of where my drug addiction started. But yeah, so my palate is pretty refined. I don't want to like brag or boast, but my palate is pretty refined, and I know what to look for in a good tasting sauce, you know. So I do love flavor before fire. I will say that. I've always said that. But I also like a good pepper forward hot sauce, you know, that'll just throw you off your feet. So what I look for in a sauce, because that was your original question, what I look for is a nice balance of flavor and heat. If you can get it nice and hot, but also balance it with a flavor of, I'm more of a savory kind of, I don't really like hot sauces with fruit or blackberry or raspberry. So if you can give me a really hot sauce with savory, then you're banging on all cylinders for me.
Well, bro, you had me send you asked my personal favorites, and then you bought sweet hot sauces. Why the fuck did you do that?
So, no, I did. Because I trust your palate. So I do have a lot, like I said, I do have, and one of the ones I'm going to try tonight when we get into it, because I was told to bring a bottle of hot sauce, I cannot wait to try the Not Mama's Chamoy.
I mean, it's sweet, dude. It's raspberries and honey. So
I know. I can't wait to try it. It's like I said, you could change my mind, man. I've never really had one that I've been like, holy shit, this is absolutely delicious. Usually it's too fruity or it's too peppery, and they just can't balance it. But I'm really looking forward to try it, man. I really am.
I'm not going to toot my own horn. I don't like doing it.
I got a lot of sauces from High Desert Sauce Company. I'm excited about it to finally get those in. I'm going to start doing a lot more hot sauce reviews on the Texas Hotspot. So shameless plug right there if you guys are interested in hot sauce reviews.
Absolutely.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I got over 150 unopened bottles of hot sauce. I got a lot of content here on my shelf.
Awesome. And
Nice.
I'd be happy to add to that if you'd like.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah, me too.
man. Absolutely.
Flavor Balance Heat is brought to you by High Desert Sauce Co. out of Tucson, Arizona. Zach is the owner and creative mind behind High Desert Sauce Co.'s hot sauces. He says, at High Desert Sauce Co. we make sauces that we love. The balance of bold heat and fresh flavor is the heart of our philosophy. We keep it simple by using the best ingredients we can get our hands on and letting the natural flavors run the show. High Desert Sauce Co. Just the good stuff. Visit High Desert at hdsauceco.com. Where are we at on questions?
You're up with your favorite question.
No, you're up. You're up, Zach.
We've got a special Zach Goot one because he's not a maker, man.
I do make a lot of sauce.
Oh, do you?
Do you?
Oh, hey.
Oh, I make a lot of sauce. I have a couple famous bottles of hot sauce out there. Now I don't have an LLC. I'm definitely not able to sell it over the counter to anybody, but I make small batches. I make a lot of products, man. Like right now, I'm working on my Stinger tank that has you guys don't know?
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I am a trend setter. Look, I'm telling you, if you want to know a little bit about me, I'm gonna open up. I like to be the first of a kind.
All right.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't like to be like, wow, that's never happened before, and this guy did it. Now, if someone else does it, that's just, that guy did it first. So, I promise you what I'm about to show you and unveil on your podcast.
I know what it is.
See, Zach follows me a little closer. I promise you it's going to be the first of its kind that you've ever seen. It's a 6-month soak of nothing but scorpion pepper tincture. Here that is.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
So there's the 6-month soak of scorpion pepper tincture. That's still soaking. I'm actually about to start evaporating that for about 2 weeks here coming up. It's called Stinger. And inside each tincture bottle is a full scorpion.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
And the scorpion will be perfectly preserved in the high content alcohol.
That's crazy. All right. I love it.
Wow.
Yeah, I call it Stinger.
That's perfect.
And I've also made a bunch of hot sauces in the past, man. One of my most notoriable. Is that a word? Notoriable. Notoriable. One of my most notable and talked about sauces has its own challenge table on the Nukes Chili Head website over there in the UK. Is my ice cream hot sauce. I made a magic shell. You know magic shell. You pour on ice cream and hardens. Yep. So I made a chocolate or birthday cake tasting spicy magic shell ice cream challenge.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah,
sounds good.
All made from scratch.
He makes a lot of stuff, actually.
That's cool.
I put out quite a bit of good stuff. I put out a Gooters wing sauce, which a hit on Hooters. I put out Bubba Goot's cocktail sauce with a full entire bottle of nasal napalm added to it.
Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah, so I put out a couple good sauces, man. Just like I said, haven't gone commercial yet. I wish I could.
Well, that's fantastic.
I mean, Texas.
Oh, go ahead.
Texas does have cottage law. Why don't you look into that?
Yeah, you could do damn near anything in Texas.
Yeah, no, I could. I definitely could go to like a farmer's market and sling some of my sauce off. Yeah, for sure. I just, man, I haven't found the motivation. And you know what? I got over 100 plants growing. I'm going to be making a lot of sauce coming up. So maybe this is the year of going legit. We'll see.
When you get to the point where you need to go through, if you want to go through all the FDA stuff and all that, any one of us here would be happy to help you along.
Absolutely.
I mean, I charge $500 an hour. I don't know about these two.
Call me.
I'm the one who knows the CFR, though.
Yeah, Claire is the expert on that.
Yeah.
No, 100%. It's a good community of people to be around when you want to start a business.
Although, Claire, I got to tell you that since we've been doing this podcast, I stick my head into the CFRs a lot more than I ever did.
Me too. I knew what I needed to know to get by, and now Zach goes saying things that
Zach goes saying things that were on his process or his controls class. I mean, what do you want me to do?
So, Zach, Zach Perkins and I are both sober. I think I identified with your story in Superhots more than any other. It was, it was a lot. It made me feel that, that feeling like that's my thinking there.
Yeah.
So first of all, how was it doing that? And how has it been since then? Like now that the show's out, where are you at with all that?
That's a good question too, man. I appreciate you asking that because a lot of people have been commenting on my YouTube videos of they're confused.
Yeah.
Because in the show, I was retiring basically, but they kind of never really clarified at the end. They're like, he's still burning here and there. That's what they said at the end of the show. You could find him on a Monday. It just depends if it's Monday or Saturday. He's burning still. Here you go. But man, the show really hit on balance. And balance is one of the most important things that you can find in your life. And I wish I could sit here and tell you that I found my perfect balance and everything is easy peasy kosher. But it's a work in progress for everybody to find their perfect balance. But since the wrapping of the show, which a lot of people need to remember was over a year ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it's been a while since the wrapping of the show. It took them about 15 months to edit that down. I've found balance to where I'm okay with it, and my wife's okay with it. I'm still doing the spicy stuff because it just brings me joy and it brings me happiness to do spicy stuff and create content and do stuff like this and join my friends and be able to have a great time. But you got to have balance. I still make time for my wife. I'll bring my wife along when I'm doing a review of something. I'll make sure that we always have our time together on the days that I have off of work. And yeah, man, it's just like an addiction, like you said in the beginning.
Well, we all have that hole. We just fill it with different things, and sometimes we trade things out, Yeah. Yeah,
it's trading one addiction for another. It's what addicts do.
Yeah, we're addictive people. Like, if you don't fill that void with something, you're probably just going to end up going back
using
out.
drugs.
So,
yeah, that's it.
It's the sad truth.
How has it been since being on the show, having such a personal story out there, and how has the feedback been kind of from the general population?
Well,
I can answer that.
I can answer that with kind of a funny answer. And the biggest feedback I get is a lot of people think my wife is cheating on me with Brandon. And we have the same reaction you guys have. We laugh every time. There was this one guy, I kept deleting his comments just because they were just, whatever. I don't deal with drama or haters. I just delete them.
Yeah.
I don't reply. I just hey, man, there's an option to delete it for a reason. Yeah. So I just delete it. But this guy, he went on almost every one of my videos just for just to keep saying your wife's definitely cheating on you with Brandy, just to make sure I would read it at least once. But like, if people actually knew the dynamics of me, Brandon Collins, and my wife's relationship, it's just funny. It's funny to laugh at. We're really good friends, man. And that's what I saw when I watched the show. But
that's what I saw too. It didn't see.
Yeah. But no. So I want to answer her question so her and the viewers can get a better understanding. So I remember when the director and the producers hit me up originally for the show. And like I said, I always give thanks to UK Chili Queen, Shahina Wasim, for recommending me to the producers and directors. I wasn't a part of the show until she said, hey, you guys got to check out ZACH GOOT from the Texas Hotspot. He has great camera charisma. He's really good personality. He can burn. He enters competition. So they called me up and they said right away, we want to put you in the documentary and we are going to come to Dallas and film you. So I thought it was a college kid with like a little camera and I really did. And like his friend behind him with a boom mic, maybe. But that's all I thought. And then when they showed up with a complete trailer full of multi-million-dollar worth of film equipment, I said, this isn't, this is real. This is like a multi-million-dollar deal. So throughout the next days, and I'm getting into answering your question, throughout the next couple days of hanging out with the director and the producers and just getting to talk to them and getting to know them and actually becoming friends and befriending all of them. They're all great people. Brian, the director, pulled me aside one day. I think it was like the day before they were getting ready to head out and they were done filming in Dallas. And he pulled me aside and he said, getting to know you and you telling us about your backstory, he said, I want to sit you down and I want to do an interview with you with just you. And so that's what happened. And he told me, he said, I want you to open up about who you are, why you do what you do. You can talk about anything with us. Just feel comfortable about opening up. And he told me he wants to really hit. I think he saw something in the story like we all did as addicts. He saw something in that addiction story. And he really wanted to get that out there for the addicts out there that struggle with addiction. There is hope and other ways to deal with that urge to do something, just to take a step out of the norm. And if spicy stuff is your next fix, then so be it. At least come on over. Let us save your life because those drugs are killing you. So that's why you saw me. Go ahead.
Oh, I was relieved when I saw you go into the ramen shop.
Oh yeah, he's
gonna need that. This guy needs that.
Yeah. So that was funny too. The Reaper ramen actually was okay. So it makes it seem like it's been a few months, but it wasn't. It was, I don't know, man. I had no control over the editing. God damn it. So they made it seem like it was a couple months, and it wasn't a couple months. So I think we got a little bit of lag.
Create a narrative arc. It's normal. That makes sense.
Have you been recognized in public yet?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I've been recognized.
Was it weird when someone was like, "Hey, I know you"?
I've been recognized in public the other day when I was at work. Actually, someone came into us at work and they were like, "Holy shit! I saw you on a documentary I watched the other day," and I was like, "Yeah, man." That was me. Red hair, man. Dead giveaway.
Well, I think your hair changed colors a couple times during the shooting.
Yeah, because there was a few months break in between the shooting. They actually flew me out to LA about 3 months after they were in Dallas. They called me up and they were like, "Hey, man, they actually asked me to come out of retirement for them, but I told them I couldn't do come out. They're like, "We want you to come out of retirement. We want to film you coming out of retirement." And I was like, well, I'm not going to do that because I'm still officially, I did take a retirement break, just so everybody knows. A lot of people wondering why I'm still active and doing what I'm doing. But I actually did take a good 3 months off, and I left all of the spicy groups. I muted all of the chats. I left a lot of back chats. I didn't create any content. I focused on my family and my marriage for about a good 3 months. And once I thought that I had found that balance, where it was okay and my wife was happy, that's when I started getting back into it, but I did it a little differently. I was a little crazy at first, guys, creating spicy content. in the beginning, I was going at it every day. And, you know, my wife would be in front of me, but I would be over here taking pictures of spicy stuff. And you can't be doing that. That really, looking at it from her side of the view, I had to take a step back and put myself in her shoes.
Well, and aside from being an addict, just the pandemic in general, I think, fucked us all up. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So we all needed something to focus on. So, you know, that's just aside from what we already are.
Oh, man. I feel like Claire's pretty quiet today. You all right over there, Claire? Claire Bear?
No, I mean, I don't know. I haven't had any questions to ask. But, I mean, Spike, you haven't asked your desert island.
So I wasn't sure if I should ask that, but I think I will. So you're on a desert island. All right. You had been on a cruise ship. It went down. You're the sole survivor. You're on a desert island. When the ship went down, there was all kinds of great food on the ship, and it floats ashore. So you've got plenty of things you can eat. But there's only one pallet of hot sauce on that ship. What hot sauce would you hope it would be? And it can be a couple that you wish it was, you know, but you only get one.
That's a really hard question, man. That's a good question. But that's a really hard question. I mean, I've always had one sauce that was just a little, and it's not even, see, this goes along with, you know, it's not even a super hot sauce. It's just so good. And let me see if I can find the bottle real quick. I'm looking at it. Hold on. If not, I know what it's called. It's Cajuns. It's from Cajuns. You guys know Cajuns. And it's their mushroom sauce.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Fucking love it.
It's delicious, man.
Well, and I ask that, you'll understand this having been to culinary school. I'm always interested in the breadth of a sauce. You know, there's some sauces that are great for one thing, but those sauces that can go on anything, they intrigue me because sometimes they're vastly different, but they can still go on everything. And I really like that.
Yeah, no, it's an absolute amazing sauce. Cajuns knows how to do their sauces for sure, man. I'd love to partner up with Cajuns and get a goot sauce out.
He's a good dude too.
No.
Well, you know, Cajun doesn't do
Cajuns
anymore.
It's Cajuns, not Cajuns.
Oh. Yeah. However you want to say it is fine, man.
Well, I'm really impressed that you gave us an answer to that. A lot of times people can't answer it at all.
I refuse.
Zach thinks it's a stupid fucking question.
It is a stupid fucking
I appreciate it, man. I'll tell you, I just I had to look back through the years and years of eating all the sauce that I've eaten, and I'm telling you, there's not one bottle of sauce that I haven't reordered more than that one.
That's awesome.
Nice.
It
is a good sauce.
Yeah.
Zach, what or who inspires you to keep doing what you're doing and in the spicy world or without or outside of it?
This is getting
it's a great question, man. So what inspires me, and that's an easy answer, would be you guys. People like you. People who in the community who are friends of mine who, you know, support me with my mission. All of my subscribers and dare I say fans, that's who really truly inspires me. But also, I have to include my wife in that. My wife inspires me every day to do stuff, and I have to remember how important that my family is, as well as my chili family. My immediate family always comes first, but my chili family is a close second for sure.
You know, I really liked the dynamic between the two of you during the show. She was prominent in the show, and it was great. It was really nice to see.
She hated it. Don't talk to her about it.
Well, definitely tell her hello from all of us.
Yeah, I will. She her comments were they made me look like a bitch.
Oh, I did not think so.
No, I didn't get that feeling at all.
No.
I said, no, well, you look like you want more love. And it's going to relate to a lot of women out there.
Yeah.
And men who, you know, because look, there's a lot of chili head people out there that are doing too much and their families are suffering from it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, you know, that's the stuff that we don't talk about in the chili community. And that's what I told Brian. I said, some of the stuff we don't talk about publicly in the chili community about how our chili you know, you see chili posts all over all these groups about, hey, look at my beautiful peppers. Hey, look at this sauce and look at me. And everybody's happy. but there's a lot of background drama and sadness with spouses, families, sons, daughters, brothers, sisters who are being left to the wayside because of the chili addiction in all of us. Well, so you have to balance it.
Especially if you're growing peppers, man. Like, people don't realize the attention that takes to, like,
make
sure they grow properly. And you gotta fucking pick them. And it's like a whole thing.
I'm Claire George. I own Butterfly Bakery of Vermont. We make hot sauce, mustard, cookies, and granola, and 100% of our products are made with Vermont ingredients. The thing that I hear most often from people is that my hot sauce tastes like the peppers that are in it. We do really simple recipes that don't get too crazy and nitpicky, just to really accentuate the flavor of the peppers that are in there. The unique thing about our hot sauces is how much we feature the farm and the relationship with the farm and really bring the terroir of Vermont to our hot sauces. I am pretty sure I am the #1 purchaser of Vermont-grown chili peppers. I would love it if there would be a legitimate pepper market in Vermont where people would know Vermont for its peppers. We're all better for supporting each other. And I think that part really shows itself with the collaborations that I do with the other businesses and the other farms, that I love working together and coming up with new ideas and presenting each other with new challenges. And I think overall that's the attitude here. And I absolutely love it because that's my attitude. I try to live my life with love. The ingredients that I use, I would say that my values are reflected in that I use ingredients that, again, feel good, feel loving, feel supportive. The relationship with the farmer was how it all began. If I changed the reason for it being, if I went out and bought some commodity peppers, it might not be as good.
You can find Butterfly Bakery of Vermont hot sauce, mustard, granola, and cookies at butterflybakeryvt.com.
So Spike has a new idea every day. Okay, like this podcast. He talked to me about this podcast for like 3 months before I finally caved the fuck in and agreed to do it. I've quit like 4 times. But
once this week. Seriously.
Twice this week. So he has this idea. He wants to put out $100 hot sauce. And he has roped myself and Claire into his crazy brain of chaos. And we are asking our viewers what ingredient or what process would warrant a $100 hot sauce for you.
Oh yeah, man, Spike. For sure. Spike would have to come over, hand deliver it, and suck dollars. and
that's not coming out because you're not the first person.
Yeah, you're not the fat one.
So realistically, since I know ingredients, you'd have to put the expensive ingredients in it, man. I would put black truffles. Fresh black truffles. Make sure you get some of that in there. Okay. If you don't like truffles, do like a semi. I've thought of. Here's an idea I thought of that I just can't seem to figure out how to put in a sauce unless the sauce is clear and see through. But gold, straight up gold in a hot sauce.
Yeah.
Oh, like kind of like Goldschlager, but in a hot sauce.
Like Goldschlager, but like maybe like vinegar infused see through hot sauce, like Frostbite, but have gold nuggets or flakes floating around in there. I'm not sure. Like, it's just an idea I had. But yeah, you'd obviously have to have something bougie in it for it to require a $100 price
Somebody
tag.
did. It was one of those big time YouTubers a few years ago did wings made with a gold sauce.
I remember watching that.
Yeah.
And it looked gross. The gold
gross.
Flake all came off on his lips and stuff. It didn't look good.
Oh man!
I'm thinking exactly what you said, man. Like a Goldschlager hot sauce looking bottle would warrant $100 if it had enough gold in it.
Yeah,
like $100 worth of gold.
Yeah, I guess about $92.
Oh man, yeah, I don't know.
What do you guys? I'm interested to hear your take on that. What do you think should go in a $100 bottle of hot sauce?
I don't know. That's why we're asking you guys.
Well, Claire, what were you talking about this week? You sent me a text on
the koji fermentation. That was I don't remember who it was who said that. Gosh, who was it? I don't think it was.
We've been doing this for 6 months now. It's like, oh my God. I have no idea.
Yeah.
It was the person who talked about green onion brats in the Midwest. Oh man, who was that? I don't think it's aired yet.
You might be right. Was it Nick?
Yes, Halogi. Halogi.
Yes.
But of course it's aired by now, by the time this airs. And he was talking about koji fermentation, and I love doing fermentation, but I always do wild fermentation. I've never done inoculated fermentation. And I just randomly discovered there's a local company that I know that sells koji rice. That's inoculated with the Aspergillus fungi or the bacteria. I don't know how to turn that into a hot sauce. I don't know how to ferment vegetables with that. There's I think like a koji shin. I don't know. I've started looking into it just because I'm really curious.
I'm sure if we hit up our friends at Down to Ferment, they'd be able to tell us exactly what to do.
Yeah. Well, and I also know the people. I mean, I just ran into it in the grocery store, but I know the people who were selling it. So
you know what else? You know what else would make a really good $100 bottle of hot sauce is a THC infused bottle of hot sauce.
Yeah, there's some legal issues there.
Yeah, but
like not being able to sell it over state lines.
You make your $100 off of it if you could.
We would just have to make it in each state that allows it. And only sell it within the state.
There are some.
There are sauces.
Yeah, I've seen a few.
There are some. And they're expensive.
Doesn't K-John do one?
Yeah.
Or didn't he do one?
He did a CBD. He did CBD.
CBD.
Got it.
Which is still regulated by the state, and you're not really supposed to sell that shit over state lines.
Right.
But I can go up the road.
I know. When I saw that, I was kind of like, I have to submit this to the FDA. I'm not sure if I would want to put that in writing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Like I said.
I think in the next few years it'll be nothing.
Yeah, for sure.
At some point. I don't know about the next few years.
Yeah.
But I like your idea of that fermentation. Like, I'm not sure what kind of fermentation that is, but it sounds fancy, and you could probably charge a lot because it sounds fancy.
Well, I mean, I can easily pick up the rice and just start trying it. And maybe it's a matter of soaking the rice and getting a liquid and then using that liquid to ferment the vegetables, or something.
So I made one of my most weirder sauces I made was Gloucestershire sauce. And it was a spicy Worcestershire, but I called it Gloucestershire. And so I made it straight from scratch. And scratch Worcestershire has like anchovies and black garlic and molasses and all this dark stuff. And I had to let it sit and kind of ferment for about 2 weeks for it to get that tangy. I mean, you're supposed to let it ferment for months and months, but I'm not a massive producer. So I kind of let it ferment until to taste. And man, that was absolutely delicious. It was a really good Worcestershire sauce. I still have all of the chunky remnants that I strained out frozen in the freezer to do something with.
There you go.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
Dry them out, make a powder.
I was thinking about drying it out and making a pow because it's gonna be hot. So that was a really good one too. The Gloucestershire sauce. Something like that you could try. I charged a little extra for that because the ingredients were kind of hard to get, and so I charged a little extra. It just depends on your ingredients, man. That's what when pricing in a sauce. And I'm not a major sauce producer, but I do know that your better ingredients, the more it's going to cost.
Yeah,
you.
well, and actually, more than ingredients is labor. Just
and labor too,
and packaging. I mean,
absolutely.
I actually did find one of my packaging suppliers. They specialize in maple syrup, even though I buy my mustard jars from them. And I was looking through their catalog, and they're a Canadian company. And so one of the options was a glass bottle of a hockey player. So we could do a hockey bottle hot sauce.
I had an idea, and as I said, you guys can edit this out or not, but I had an idea of making a sauce, and I even contacted a glass blower about this. It's just too expensive. He said he could do it, but each bottle would have been like $50 for me to buy. But anyways, I had an idea to make a hot sauce with a dick-shaped box, and I was gonna call it Duke's or Goot's Dick Juice, and you take the top off, and you can. It's so good. You can just drink out of it.
Not only am I not editing that out, that might be our little prelude to the show.
Although I do like the idea of blown glass. I also know glass blowers, and I wonder I wonder if we could get the seal that we need to get on the bottle, like whether we can get a cap and, get the hermetic seal. But like that would be really cool.
Yeah.
You talk about a dick bottle?
Blown glass
not a dick
in whatever way you want to blow it.
I mean, Hellfire does it every Halloween. They get some crazy
he
glass.
Does. Hellfire does blow his own bottles, and he gets them screwed on there tight. So, which, by the way, those are beautiful bottles if you haven't seen them.
Yeah, they're fucking crazy. So
let's see.
Spike?
I think we are on hot takes. So
we are on hot takes.
We usually talk about hot sauce hot takes, and you're welcome to have any. These are things that most people like that you don't. But you can expand that to the chili community as well, of course.
Yeah, okay.
Keep it drama.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say keep it PG, and I was like, what?
not PG, just drama free.
So we're talking. So wait, let me get this. Let me understand this and get this straight. We're talking about things that we may not like.
Yeah, you may not like, but most people do.
Most people like them. Yeah.
You've just got the opposite opinion of most people.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll start off right away, and I'm not scared to admit it. A lot of people like this, and I don't like it. And I've been very public about this, even though I do it here and there. I don't like tincture.
Oh, really?
I don't.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
I don't like tincture. I think it tastes like shit. Number one.
Alcohol, man.
Yeah, it's alcohol. It's just, it's whole grain, strong alcohol. I think it tastes like shit. I think it's way too spicy. Sometimes, sometimes these people can make a tincture that's just, why? Why did you make that? That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't, I like a tincture that is right there on the brink of almost way too hot, but it has flavor with it, like a strawberry or it's like a sweet. But man, some of these tinctures, I'll throw up. It's just, they're disgusting.
Speaking of out of all the, I'm taking a little zoom off. So on the show, your puking scene was the best out of all of them.
Yeah. Brian definitely told me while we were filming. He's like, we're gonna put you puking on this a lot. And I was like, that's fine, man. That's fine, man. It's called the Goot Boot for
the last.
Go ahead.
I
broke out the green screen to bring back some memories.
The last episode, my wife and I, before we started it, we took bets on how many times they were going to show somebody throwing up, and she bet that they had already kind of spent their load and that they weren't really gonna do very many. And so she said 5, and I said 6, and there was only 4, but we were all counting. Because all the other episodes, so she was right.
It's the Goot Boot. Yeah, man. I was told I was filmed the most throwing up.
Well, and that first one was just epic. It was like The Exorcist all over again, man. Just green.
Yeah. And y'all got to understand, like I said, they edited it to their liking, but it looked like me and Mike Jack were going up against each other in the show. But I want to let people know that nowhere ever were me and Mike Jack ever competing against each other. He's obviously way out of my ballpark, and it was never down to me or Mike Jack within even the top 4 or 5. So I just want to let people know that. There were some heavy hitters on that table that didn't get enough notoriety as I believe should have. One being Atomic Menace, 2 being Jared Smith from Farmer J. 3 being Bat Pants Jason Harrell, and 4 being Mike Jack. Those were the 4 that actually, in reality, competed it out for that belt in that match. There was 4 people left in the speed round. You had Atomic Menace, Farmer J, Jason Harrell, and Mike Jack, and they cut that out. They made it look like I was kind of pulling it close to Mike Jack, but then I threw up. And it was that's not the reality, And I'm not scared to call them out on their editing. They did leave a lot of stuff out in the show.
They have to.
And it sucks because like none of us had control over that. And I've been getting a lot of, it's with the territory, I guess, of getting your own storyline in a show. And a lot of people who were supposed to be in the show weren't in the show. They'll show their true colors, man, with jealousy and envy, basically. Like, I've lost a friend or 2 already over the show because honestly, because of jealousy.
Yeah. Were there people who were filmed for the show and just were edited out pretty much completely?
Absolutely. A big one I want to just mention, a lot of notable mentions that didn't get, Jason Harrell, Bat Pants, was filmed just like I was, had an interview and everything. And they followed him around in the car. They asked him a bunch of questions. They filmed him and his wife. He was the champion at the time. He was defending his belt. Yep. So it came to also Kristen Lovett from Capsaicin Cult. They filmed her. They took over her house. They brought the whole crew into her house. They interviewed her. They showed her hanging out with like Oria and Bobby Mustache. And they cut that completely out. And I felt so bad for her because she was so excited. We talked on the side. She's like, I got my own part in it. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. And then they cut it out for some reason. And then just a couple other people they just cut out. Farmer Jay had a lot more screen time that they cut out.
Okay, are they gearing up for season 2? Do you know? Because, this does say season 1.
I'm actually not allowed to talk about that.
So that's a yes.
Did people know that they were edited out before the show dropped?
No. No, it's just, here, I'll tell you a funny story, guys, about when I got called up from the producers and directors of the show. So I can talk about this now, too, because I couldn't talk about this before either, but I can talk about it now. A funny story is...
Flavor Balance Heat is brought to you by High Desert Sauce Co. out of Tucson, Arizona. Zach is the owner and creative mind behind High Desert Sauce Co.'s hot sauces. He says, at High Desert Sauce Co. we make sauces that we love. The balance of bold heat and fresh flavor is the heart of our philosophy. We keep it simple by using the best ingredients we can get our hands on and letting the natural flavors run the show. High Desert Sauce Co. Just the good stuff. Visit High Desert at hdsauceco.com.
Around September of 2022 is when they contacted me for the show. In November, September, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. Okay, in August, sorry, I don't know why. In August of 2022, I applied for another television show called Squid Game.
Oh, yeah.
The challenge.
Yeah. No.
So I got selected by Squid Game to compete in the Squid Game, the challenge reality show. It was me and 455 other people in the entire United States. Actually, across the entire world.
Oh, wow.
It was a whole world thing. They only picked 456. And then in August, I went through interview after interview with producers of Fox or Netflix. It was Netflix. And I had to go see a doctor and get a physical, and I had to get a passport, and I was on my way to compete for $4.5 million on Netflix's Squid Game when Superhot producers and directors called me up. I had a choice to make. I could either go for $4.56 million, or I could make a reality show about my life as a chili head. And you saw which one I took.
Really good.
Wow.
It's a good thing they didn't cut your story.
Yeah.
I know, right?
That would have really sucked.
Yeah.
I will say this though. I will say this. A little teaser. Look out for season 2 of Squid Game or Superhots. You'll probably see me again.
That's awesome.
I got one. I'm going to have a choice to make again soon. Probably it's going to suck. We'll see.
There you go.
Hot sauce show and tell.
Yeah.
What'd you bring to show us?
Well, like I said earlier, I'm going to be trying this Not Mama's Chamoy.
Hey, give me just a
Awesome.
second. I want to switch out the sauce that I've got. Give me just a half a second. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Hey, thank you for saying the name right, by the way. People like to call it Not Your Mama's Chamoy. And I'm like,
Oh, no, it's Not Mama's Chamoy.
Yeah, Not Mama's Chamoy.
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited. Let me get I even have I got an all pearl straight 100% pearl tasting spoon. 100%. You want to know why? Because I guess you taste the sauce better on pearl.
It's like caviar, man. You're supposed to use a pearl spoon so it's not tainted by the metal or, I don't know.
So I have a nice, fancy, and it came, and look at, I got a cool box for my pearl spoon that I think you guys would appreciate.
Oh, that's
Nice.
awesome.
Oh, nice. That's great.
It's all nice and wood burnt.
All right.
And the spoon.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Okay. You ready? What'd you change
So-
yours out to?
Well, yeah, we usually show and then...
Oh, we show and then tell. Ah.
Yeah.
So show us yours first. Which one are you doing? Oh, you're doing the not Mama's Chamoy.
I'm going to be doing the High Desert Sauce Company's Not Mama's Chamoy. And you got to say it right, guys. It's not Yo Mama's Chamoy. It's Not Mama's Chamoy.
That's it.
That's just what it is. And honestly, we all know who made it. It's that guy right there, Zach Perkins.
I hear he's a dick.
Yeah. Can you
That's Claire's recipe. That's Claire's recipe.
I've never...
Yeah, with
Her
raspberries.
recipe.
Yeah.
Zach,
So,
Vermont grown
wherever
raspberry.
you're pointing, when I edit it, it won't be pointing in that direction.
I always put everybody right in a row. I figure that kind of.
Yeah.
Oh, you can change that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if you change the screen size,
anything you want.
it moves it all around.
I don't give no. What'd you bring, Claire?
I brought another Lucky Dog. Their the Chipotle, their mustard Chipotle.
Oh, I love that sauce.
There you go.
That is a really good one.
It's so good. It's so good. I mean, so Scott was talking about the Chipotles that he uses in here, and I got it on my nose. But I really love this sauce. All of his sauces I have just been demolishing.
Okay, so I brought a sauce from Texas, Wicked Provisions, from our friend Adam. It is a grilled pineapple and habaneros.
Nice.
And I've got Jersey Barns Fires, Indian Summer.
Oh, yeah, that's nice. That's a good one.
Man, we got some good sauces today.
I have a feeling it's going to be... okay. I thought there was going to be...
So I just want to say that one of the best sauces, also a really top 5 of mine. I have to give it to High Desert Sauce Company. It was the Ghost of Saffron, sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So I have that one too. Thank you for including that, Zach. I want to say, I just really want to know, that's the only time I've had High Desert Sauce Company, so I'm really excited to expand my horizons on that company. I don't know why it's taken me so long, but I'm really excited about this one. So.
I mean, you've definitely been at that show in California.
I know. I met you before.
I know. We've hugged.
All right.
Yeah, I've hugged you.
My sauce, though.
Cheers, y'all.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's so chunky. Ooh, the 7-pot douglas in that is kicker. That's a kicker right there, man.
Yeah, buddy.
Wow. Okay.
I got a question.
Okay.
So how do you... We do this every week, and I've learned to keep with the medium to medium hot sauces, not to go too hot. How in the world do you keep communicating on camera after eating really hot?
Well, you got it. My tolerance is it's pretty high right now, man. I've been eating a lot of spicy stuff, but
I'm just talking about on your show.
Oh man, I don't know, man. You got to channel the inner entertainer. You got to keep entertaining, man. You know, there's been a couple times where I can't talk. You know, if it's too hot, or there's been a couple times I got to run off camera. But most of the time, you know, there's a little goot in there screaming his ass off. And I'm just like, yeah, you know, everything's going good over here.
Yeah, that sauce is hot. And to him right now, that's probably nothing. I mean, that sauce is fucking hot.
Yeah, I've had it.
Dude, I am actually loving this sweet sauce right now.
Really?
Yeah, like, dude, the raspberries are counteracting perfectly with that 7-pot. And I was honestly worried that the vinegar was going to overtake it, but it's very minimum on the vinegar on this. You're really complimenting the raspberries. And fortunate for you, raspberries are my favorite fruit.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome.
That.
Very good job. Very good job.
He's just going to drink the whole bottle.
Yeah, it's almost like drinking a sweet Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
It's a smoothie.
It's a smoothie. A non-alcoholic Bloody Mary is a smoothie.
And you can taste the honey in that too, believe it or not.
Oh, there's a shit ton of honey in there, man.
You can taste the honey in that. It's very good. Yeah, guys, people watching, check it out. For sure. Sauce. This is one of the best sauces. Yeah, good job, Zach.
Thank you. So, what's next for you? What do you hope to see with Texas Hotspot and the Goot brand, if you will?
I got a couple companies that, believe it or not, you know, it's unfortunate that it took a Hulu show for it to happen. But, you know, take it as it comes in life. I say, you know, take the positives and roll with it. Take the negatives and roll with it either way. So, the positives about the show coming out, I do have a couple companies that have hit me up. One of them being Harvest 912. They wanted to do a candy that got released. They went really quick with that. So they hit me up. They wanted to come out with a Gooters chocolate candy. And they released that. And that made me feel really good because that was like the first official like product you can actually go buy online, whoever you were, without hitting me up or anything. You can just go buy it. So that's what I want to do next, man. I want to get a business up and running to where I can sell my products as well, because I love making products and I'm doing pretty good at it. But at the same time, I'm looking to do something along the lines of the Harvest 912 mission of taking, I don't want to say 100% of my profits and donating it to charity, but definitely having my company for a charitable cause.
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great.
Yeah. So we're looking, I got a couple people that, one of them is a UK-based hot sauce company that we're kind of discussing on getting my own hot sauce going through their company, but I kind of want my own company.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'm focusing on that.
I'll talk to you later. I'm not saying that I'm not opposed to making a hot sauce for you. I'm not trying to steal their thing, but I'll explain what I do with Brian. And,
yeah,
if you'd rather make sauce, like, make sauce.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah.
If you just want to collect money, then let them make your sauce.
No, yeah, for sure. I watch your lives of you like going to the kitchen and boxing and bottling and making. That's what I want to do, man. I want to get down and dirty with my hands.
Yeah.
I don't want some other company to make my sauce because it's never going to taste the way I want it.
That's it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, Zach, do you have any questions for us?
Absolutely. I thought you'd never ask. So my first question for Spike: how long have you been making hot sauce, man? And how'd you get started?
I was a chef, and I ended up taking a job. I had a choice between a really nice restaurant getting paid shit, or a bar and getting paid pretty darn well and getting paid 25% of house and tips. So I've chose the bar, and my Monday night wing night got busier than Saturday night, and we couldn't keep wings in the place. And so I kind of went, I guess I'm kind of good at this. I would just come up with wing specials every week. So I just thought I'm going to start a hot sauce company. That's it.
Yeah. Nice.
5 years ago.
Good story, man.
How
long?
5.5 years ago.
Yep.
Nice.
Coming up on that year 6. Maybe we'll start making some money this year, right?
Would be nice.
My next question's for Zach, obviously.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, this is you came to me a couple days ago and you were talking to me about how we might hit on our drug addiction, and I said, yeah, man, it's fair grounds to talk about it. So I'm assuming it's fair grounds to also talk about your drug addiction.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. So my question is, as also a drug addict who still has addictive personalities, what do you do today to handle with those cravings and those, those itchies? You got, if you're feeling like you're using, do you go to meetings? What do you do, man? How do you handle with your addiction?
Hi, my name's Zach. I'm a former drug addict, alcoholic turned saucier. I've been in and out of the program since I was like 15, bro. And it just never really jived with me. It's very contradictive. It didn't make sense. Like, why the fuck am I going to give my power to something I can't see? Like, then it's kind of like diminishing me. I don't know. I'm just weird. And I don't knock the program. I know a lot of great people in the program. I know a lot of people that got sober because of the program. It just wasn't for me. And I just celebrated like 7 years off shit, dude. So, like, I don't really have cravings anymore. I have zero desire. Yeah.
Good for you.
I mean, the wife still drinks like a normal person. Like, she'll pour a glass of wine and, only drink half of it. I'm like, I don't understand that. I do notice, though, if I find myself getting like moody and I haven't done any bottling of product in a minute, like it's time to hit the kitchen. That can go either way because sometimes bottling makes me moody. But if you're struggling or feeling like you're getting the itchies, dude, you are more than welcome to reach out to me, and I will talk to you to the wee hours of the fucking morning.
Yeah, and you can add me to that list too.
I used the program the first 6 months of my sobriety because I didn't know what else to do. I knew it was a safe place to go with other sober people, but it just wasn't my jam. So, and then I kind of stumbled into hot sauce, and here we are. This is where we're at.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, that's good, man. So I got a question for Claire.
Yeah.
Actually, this is a two-parter. I see you got a couple hot sauces behind you. What's the hottest sauce that you own?
Well, the hottest sauce that we have here is actually my own. Taco Vibes Only. That was number 9 on Hot Ones on season 20. 638,000 Scovilles. And it's I mean, I'm sure that you could drink it just like that chamoy. But it really, when we're making it, we have to wear PPE. It gets in the air and it gets on your skin, and you wake up in the middle of the night with your arms burning because it's just settled on your skin. And I am not the hotter, the better personality, but I can tolerate just about anything. I don't like it, but I can. And so in making this, I had to taste it a lot. It was developed specifically to be number 9 on Hot Ones. And so it was just, iteration after iteration, and sending it out and coming back and doing it again. And, so it was really great to do that at 9 a.m. on an empty stomach.
Yeah. So is that an open bottle or a sealed bottle?
This is a sealed bottle. I don't eat this. I just make it.
Well, that was my part 2 of the question. My part 2 would be, hey man, would you taste some of that with me?
It's a great sauce. It is a great sauce.
He's like, no, I don't eat that.
Yeah, I mean, like I can. So I'm not exciting as somebody when I eat hot stuff. Like I don't, so I've never chomped down on a whole pod. Have I? No, not on a whole pod. I've never done that. I've played What Kind of Pepper Is It? When we get peppers from the farm and they're all mixed up together, and they're like, we sent you habanero bonnets. And I'm like, that's not a thing. No, but, and,
that's a hell of a cross.
Yeah. Right. And then, so we got Ghosts and Reapers that were like in the same package, and we just had to separate them out. And so I could visually separate them out, and I got to figure out which one is which. And I've played those games. And like I said, I'm not that exciting because to me, it's a brain disconnect, your brain wants to tell you you're dying, but I know I'm not dying. And so I just do it, and it's fine. So I'm boring.
Do you grow your own peppers? This is for all 3 of you. Do you guys grow peppers?
No. We work with farms directly. So we grow all of the produce we use in any of our products is grown within 200 miles of our kitchen. So some of it within, 10 miles of our kitchen. And so we work directly with farmers to choose varietals and all that stuff. Actually, they're bugging me for my pepper orders right now. So I've got to get that in for 2024.
This is news.
But
you guys order a bunch.
Oh, go ahead.
You guys order a bunch at a time.
Yeah. So, well, in our case, we have to order all of our peppers now. Actually, this is late. I know I've got some unhappy farmers right now. So we've got to put in our order now, and then we receive it all in September, and then we use it for the year after that. It varies from year to year, but I think our top year, we ordered something like 100,000 pounds of produce grown within 200 miles.
Wow.
Yeah. So our freezer is 2,000 square feet with 11-foot ceilings.
Wow.
And so, that's all of that produce. That's not all peppers. We also get lots of onions and garlic scapes and cilantro and dill and anything that's freezable. We don't have basil in there because basil sucks in the freezer.
Yeah.
Tomatoes. Just totes upon totes of tomatoes to make salsa with. So yeah, that's our thing at Butterfly Bakery is we work directly with farmers and choose it from that early point.
We are talking about
interesting.
Doing some, like a couple of very small batches. My business partner has some farmland, and so he wants to start growing some peppers.
It's
very interesting.
That was my original plan with High Desert to use all local produce, but then I realized the grow season in Arizona is very limited, and so is what grows in Arizona.
Yeah. Well, and it's hard. We get people who approach us wanting to do that. And I'm like, that's great. I believe in what I do, but I need to educate them on how hard it is.
Yeah.
It's besides the fact that it's expensive. There are times that I have to say no when people want me to do a project or put in an order, because I can't get the produce that they want. We just had one for the Heatness that they wanted us to do a sauce. It was a sauce that had root vegetables, and they were asking for it it in like July, and you can't get root vegetables in Vermont in July. Like those crops are gone. And so I was like, we can do that in September. But actually not even in September. We could do that. We could October, November. That's when we could get those root vegetables in. So yeah, it's hard. I think we've lucked out with a lot of varietal stuff. So that sets us apart, like flavor wise, and it ends up working out well for us, but it's hard.
Yeah. I got one more question for all three of you. And this is just one of those fun questions, kind of like your $1,000 bottle or your desert island bottle. So we'll start with Spike, and we'll go down, and I'll get each one, because this is a good question. And since the show came out, I like to ask people. So Spike, if you had to, starting tomorrow, you woke up and you couldn't do anything to deal with spicy or capsaicin at all. You couldn't make any sauce. You had to drop it all on a dime. Do you think it would affect your life in any way? Could you do it? Would it affect your life in any way?
I would find another. I would find another culinary avenue is what I would do. Whether it be like, but we have a ketchup,
you couldn't touch anything spicy. You couldn't touch peppers. You couldn't touch hot sauce. You couldn't touch anything. You think you'd be all right? Okay. Zach, how about you? Because you think you could drop everything spicy without it affecting your life in any way?
Probably not, because I'll go back to construction, and I fucking hate that trade, or I hate that life, and I'll probably end up drinking again, and that ends in hitting that glass pipe, and you know the cycle. How
about you, Claire? Could you stop doing everything spicy in your life and have it not affect you at all?
So the name of our company is Butterfly Bakery, because that's what we started doing in the first place. We're still a bakery, and we also make goat's milk caramel, and we make other condiments that aren't spicy, like mustards. So I love spicy, and I love making things that are spicy, and I love the community. But probably we do co-packing as well. But if you are not spicy stuff is probably little less than half, maybe 40% of our business. We could just kind of focus on that.
Well, so that's actually interesting. So I got a 1 out of 3 here. 1 out of 3 of you are just like me, and you're addicted to spicy stuff, man. That'd be Zach. Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, I don't know if I'm addicted to spicy stuff per se. I think I'm addicted to the chaos of the sauce industry. Yeah.
So by definition, I had to look it up, because a lot of people were just, a lot of comments, how can you become addicted to spicy stuff? And I had to look it up, and just definition on all dictionaries you're going to find, of addiction or being an addict is, you rely on something in your life, and your life will become difficult if you stop doing it.
Yeah, I should 100%. Say, qualify my answer as it wouldn't make me happy. I would.
Yeah. But you could do it though.
Hot sauce, but I could do it, because I would just focus on. I'm a real positive person, and I've been sober coming up on 32 years. So I kind of, found my way, and so
I could not.
Yeah, I would say there was a time in my life where what I was doing would have been the only thing I could do. That's not the case anymore. I've learned how to kind of, it's that life, you either get in line with what life gives you, or you get run over by it. And I'm kind of I can find it easier to get in line with it now.
And I think also on my part, I've changed gears pretty dramatically already in my life. I went to school to be a computer programmer. My dad's a computer programmer. My mom's an astronomer and a mathematician. I come from that really sciencey world. And I graduated college near in the tech bubble burst of 2002. And I was it gave me a chance to think about it and realize oh, that's not what I want to do. And, I loved it, but I couldn't see a future for myself there. And so I did this just total 180. And I was like, I grew up in California in the San Francisco Bay Area, which that's a great place to be a computer programmer. And I was like, nope, I'm going to go be a baker in Vermont. And my family was like, what are you doing? So I've already had that big pivot, and, it's not an easy thing to do by any means, but, I definitely came out better for it.
Yeah. Good for you guys. It's just really great to get to know you guys.
You know what, Zach? This has been one of my favorite interviews. I've really, really enjoyed this. Thank you so much.
It's great.
Yeah. I'm like, guys, I'm more or less, I'm a real laid back person. And I said it when the show came out, I was kind of worried about how they were going to portray me in the show. But what you see is what you get with me, man. That's just how I am. And I made sure to stay real to who I was as much as possible.
I'd say it came across.
And I always do, man.
It definitely came across.
Yeah. So I appreciate you guys.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate you being here.
Yeah, thanks,
man, absolutely.
Flavor Balance Heat, the podcast for hot sauce lovers and makers, was brought to you by Butterfly Bakery of Vermont, High Desert Sauce Co., and Irish Spike's unique hot sauces and Vandal pepper sauces. This has been a Spike Mind Media production.